Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon is the sister game to Link, the Faces of Evil, and it's much harder to talk about this one. You see, practically everything in Faces of Evil had clear intent, purpose, and cohesion. You explored the world, got items from NPCs, and conquered the titular Faces before confronting Ganon himself. But in Wand of Gamelon, it's all a huge mess. The core gameplay isn't too different, as it's still a mini Metroidvania platformer, but the how and why are so chaotic. The story is needlessly convoluted, poorly paced, poorly told, and the NPCs are somehow far creepier. Wand of Gamelon has betrayals and plot twists and all other sorts of narrative shenaniganry, but it doesn't foreshadow them, the characters don't react to them, and in general the whole thing feels like a hazy, half-aware stumble in the woods instead of a grand adventure. Faces of Evil, to contrast, had the right idea. Simpler would have been better, especially if your game is going to be this non-linear. Also, this is a very minor nitpick, but I hate how items are just lying around in Wand of Gamelon. In Faces of Evil, you had to earn each of them by interacting with a unique character, which is frankly a lot better. Still, there are some things Wand of Gamelon does better than its sibling. For one, there's an honest-to-goodness hub town, and it gradually fills with more and more life as you free its residents one by one. There is something heartwarming and rewarding about revitalizing a ghost town and watching it spring back to its former glory, complete with goofy and gormless NPC banter. But as cool as all that is, it isn't enough by itself. Because Wand of Gamelon has lackluster storytelling, plotting, and general coherency, it relies heavily on its game mechanics to sustain the experience. And, well, the mechanics are worse than Faces of Evil's too. Instead of an economy of various projectiles to think about, combat here is far more straightforward, and every enemy encounter is practically negligible thanks to an unreasonably overpowered invincibility cloak. Yes, invincibility, not invisibility, invincibility. Victory in Wand of Gamelon often feels like a foregone conclusion, like just going through the motions. At least in Faces of Evil, I did have to try. So yeah, this game is confusing, poorly balanced, and overall less interesting and imaginative than its counterpart, in just about every way. It's still very eccentric and novel, but that's about all it has going for it. For full disclosure, I was playing the PC port of this game, which fixes the frame rate among other issues, but I was using the original CDI settings otherwise.